What if the secret to building wealth was written in a 2000-year-old story? You've probably heard the parable of the talents, but have you ever thought about it as a blueprint for your financial future? Stay with me because this ancient story might just change how you see money, purpose, and even God's plan for your life. In the next minutes, I'm going to show you how a simple story from the Bible about 3 servants, some bags of gold, and a master's trust holds the key to mastering modern investments. This isn't just about money. It's about what you're doing with the gifts, your time, your talents, your resources that God handed you. By the end, you'll have a clear, practical plan to multiply what you've been given, both spiritually and financially. Let's be real, most of us are terrified of messing up with money. We're taught to play it safe, save a little, avoid risks, don't rock the boat. But then you read Matthew 25, and Jesus drops this bombshell of a story that flips everything upside down. The parable of the talents isn't just a Sunday school lesson, it's a radical call to action that almost nobody talks about in church or in the world of finance. Why? Because it forces us to face an uncomfortable truth. Playing it safe might be the riskiest move of all. So what's stopping you from taking what you've been given and turning it into something more? Let's dive into this ancient story and uncover what it's really saying about your money and your life. The parable of the talents, found in Matthew 25:14-30, tells the story of a master who entrusts 3 servants with his wealth. 5 talents to one, 2 to another, and 1 to the last. A talent was a massive sum, worth about 20 years of wages. The first 2 servants invest their talents and double the money. The third, he buries his in the ground, paralyzed by fear. Sound familiar? Here's the problem. Most of us are like that third servant. We're wired to avoid risk. Psychologists call this loss aversion. We're more afraid of losing what we have than excited about gaining more. In today's world, this fear shows up everywhere. Keeping your money in a low-interest savings account, avoiding the stock market, or worse, not even trying to grow your skills or opportunities because what if I fail? This fear doesn't just hurt your bank account, it robs you of your potential. Financially, playing it safe means your money loses value to inflation every year. Spiritually, it's even worse. The third servant didn't just fail his master, he failed himself. He let fear steal his purpose. Every time you say no to an opportunity because you're scared, you're burying your talent. And the cost? A life of regret, stagnation, and wondering, what if? Think about it. How many dreams have you shelved because you didn't want to risk failure? Most people follow the same script. Work hard, save every penny, and hope for the best. They listen to outdated advice like, just put it in a savings account, or don't invest, it's too risky. But here's the kicker. That's exactly what the third servant did. He thought he was being faithful by not losing the money. But Jesus calls him wicked and lazy. Harsh, right? Let me tell you about Maria. Maria grew up in a Christian family taught to be frugal and avoid risks. She saved every cent, but her savings barely grew. She felt stuck, working long hours, barely making ends meet, and wondering if God had forgotten her. One day she read the parable of the talents and felt a pang of guilt. Was she burying her gifts? She started small, learning about low-cost index funds and investing $100 a month. Then came the twist. The market crashed. Maria panicked, ready to pull out, but she remembered the parable. Fear was what stopped the third servant. So she stayed the course. 5 years later, her small investments had grown enough to give her a down payment on a house. Here's the question. Are you Maria before she took the leap? Or are you ready to stop burying your talents? Because right now, fear might be keeping you stuck in a cycle of just enough when God's calling you to multiply. So, how do you stop being the third servant and start multiplying your talents? The parable of the talents isn't just a spiritual metaphor, it's a financial strategy. Here's a practical plan to apply it today. Know your talents. Take stock of what God's given you, your money, skills, and time. Write down your monthly income and expenses. Educate yourself. Spend 30 minutes a week learning about investments. Start with books like The Simple Path to Wealth or free online courses. Start small. Invest in low-cost, diversified index funds or ETFs. Even $50 a month can grow over time. Stay faithful. Don't panic when the market dips. Trust the process, just like the first 2 servants trusted their master. Give back. Use your gains to bless others. Donate to your church, support a charity, or help a friend in need. Let's go back to Maria. By following this plan, she didn't just grow her wealth, she found freedom. She paid off debt, started a side business teaching others about finance, and felt closer to God, knowing she was stewarding his gifts well. This is what happens when you align your finances with faith. You're not just building wealth, you're building a legacy of purpose, generosity, and trust in God's provision. The parable of the talents isn't about playing it safe. It's about bold faith, wise stewardship, and trusting God with the outcome. Whether it's your money, your time, or your gifts, the question is, will you bury them or multiply them? Here's the truth that'll stick with you. God didn't give you talents to hide them. He gave them to you to change the world. If this hit home, hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments, what's one talent you're ready to stop burying? Share this video with someone who needs to hear this message.